Quebec, also kɨઃbɛk, Quebec City, or kɨઃbɛk City, is the capital of the Canadian province of Quebec. As of 2011, the city has a population of 516,622, and the metropolitan area has a population of 765,706, making it the second most populous city in Quebec after Montreal, which is about 233 km to the southwest. The narrowing of the St. Lawrence River proximate to the city's promontory, Cap-Diamant, and La Vis, on the opposite bank, provided the name given to the city, kɨઃbɛk, an Algonquin word meaning, where the river narrows. Founded in 1608 by Samuel de Champlain, Quebec City is one of the oldest cities in North America. The ramparts surrounding Old Quebec are the only fortified city walls remaining in the Americas north of Mexico, and were declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1985 as the historic district of Old Quebec. According to the federal and provincial governments, Quebec is the city's official name in both French and English, although Quebec City is commonly used, particularly to distinguish the city from the province. The city's famous landmarks include the Centre Frontenac, a hotel which dominates the skyline, and La Citadelle, an intact fortress that forms the centerpiece of the ramparts surrounding the old city. The National Assembly of Quebec, the Musée copyrighté national des beaux-arts du Québec, and the Musée copyrighté de la civilisation are found within or near Vieux-Québec. History. Early history. Quebec City is one of the oldest European settlements in North America. While many of the major cities in Mexico date from the 16th century, among cities in Canada and the USA, few were created earlier than Quebec City. Also, Quebec's Old Town is the only North American fortified city north of Mexico whose walls still exist. French explorer Jacques Cartier built a fort at the site in 1535, where he stayed for the winter before going back to France in spring 1536. He came back in 1541 with the goal of building a permanent settlement. This first settlement was abandoned less than 1 year after its foundation, in the summer 1542, due in large part to the hostility of the natives combined with the harsh living conditions during winter. Quebec was founded by Samuel de Champlain, a French explorer and diplomat, on July 3, 1608, and at the site of a long-abandoned St. Lawrence Iroquoian settlement called Stadacona. Champlain, also called the Father of New France, served as its administrator for the rest of his life. The name Canada refers to this settlement. Although called the cradle of the Francophone population in North America, the Acadian settlement at Port Royal was established 3 years earlier. The place seemed favorable to the establishment of a permanent colony. In 1665, there were 550 people in 70 houses living in the city. 1/4 of the people were members of religious orders, secular priests, Jesuits, Ursulines nuns and the order running the local hospital, Hotel Dieu. Quebec City was the headquarters of many raids against New England during the 4 French and Indian Wars. In the last war, the French and Indian War, Quebec City was captured by the British in 1759 and held until the end of the war in 1763. It was the site of 3 battles during 7 Years' War, the Battle of Beauport, a French victory. The Battle of the Plains of Abraham, in which British troops under General James Wolfe defeated the French General Louis-Joseph de Montcalm on September 13, 1759 and shortly thereafter took the city. And the final Battle of Saint-Foy, a French victory. France ceded New France, including the city, to Britain in 1763. At the end of French rule in 1763, forests, villages, fields and pastures surrounded the town of 8,000 inhabitants. The town distinguished itself by its monumental architecture, fortifications, affluent homes of masonry and shacks in the suburbs of Saint-Jean and Saint-Roch. Despite its urbanity and its status as capital, Quebec City remained a small colonial city with close ties to its rural surroundings. Nearby inhabitants traded their farm surpluses and firewood for imported goods from France at the 2 city markets. British rule. During the American Revolution, revolutionary troops from the southern colonies assaulted the British garrison in an attempt to liberate Quebec City, in a conflict now known as the Battle of Quebec. The defeat of the revolutionaries from the south put an end to the hopes that the peoples of Quebec would rise and join the American Revolution so that Canada would join the Continental Congress and become part of the original United States of America along with the other British colonies of continental North America. In effect, the outcome of the battle would be the effective split of British North America into two distinct political entities. The city itself was not attacked during the War of 1812. When the United States again attempted to annex Canadian lands. Fearing another American attack on Quebec City in the future, construction of the Citadel of Quebec began in 1820. The Americans never did attack Canada after the War of 1812, but the Citadel continued to house a large British garrison until 1871. The Citadel is still in use by the military and is also a tourist attraction. In 1840, after the province of Canada was formed, the role of capital was shared between Kingston, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa and Quebec City. In 1867, Ottawa was chosen to be the capital of the Dominion of Canada. The Quebec Conference on Canadian Confederation was held here. 20th and 21st centuries. Quebec City was struck by the 1925 Charlevoix-Kamouraska earthquake. During World War II, two conferences were held in Quebec City. The first Quebec Conference was held in 1943 with Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, William Lyon Mackenzie King and T.V. Soong. The second Quebec Conference was held in 1944, and was attended by Churchill and Roosevelt. They took place in the buildings of the Citadel and of nearby Cas-Centre-Frontenac. A large part of the D-Day landing plans were made during those meetings. Capital. Throughout its over 400 years of existence, Quebec City has served as a capital. From 1608 to 1627 and 1632 to 1763, it was capital of French Canada and all of New France. From 1763 to 1791, it was the capital of the province of Quebec. From 1791 to 1841, it was the capital of Lower Canada. From 1852 to 1856 and from 1859 to 1866, it was capital of the province of Canada. And since 1867, it has been capital of the province of Quebec. The administrative region in which Quebec City is situated is officially referred to as Capitale Nationale, and the term national capital is used to refer to Quebec City itself at provincial level. Geography. Quebec City is located in the St. Lawrence River Valley, on the north bank of the St. Lawrence River near its meeting with the St. Charles River. The region is low-lying and flat. The river valley has rich, arable soil, which makes this region the most fertile in the province. The Laurentian Mountains lie to the north of the city. Upper Town lies on the top of Cap-Diamant promontory. A high stone wall surrounds this portion of the city. The Plains of Abraham are located near the edge of the promontory. Lower Town is located at shore level, below Cap-Diamant. Climate. The climate of Quebec City is classified as humid continental. Quebec City experiences 4 distinct seasons. Summers are warm and occasionally hot, with periods of hotter temperatures which compounded with the high humidity, create a high heat index that belie the average high of 22°-25 degrees Celsius and lows of 11°-13 degrees Celsius. Winters are often cold, windy and snowy with average high temperatures of 5 to 8 degrees Celsius and lows of 13 to 18 degrees Celsius. Spring and fall, although short, bring chilly to warm temperatures. Late heat waves as well as Indian summers are a common occurrence. On average, Quebec City receives 1,190 mm of precipitation, of which 899 mm is rain and 303 mm is the melt from 316 cm of snowfall per annum. The city experiences around 1,916 hours of bright sunshine annually or 41.5% of possible sunshine, with summer being the sunniest, but also slightly the wettest season. During winter, snow stays on ground from about December to April. Boroughs and districts. On January 1, 2002, the 12 former towns of Saint Foy, Beauport, Charlesbourg, Sillery, Loretteville, Val-Bar Copyright Lair, Cap-Rouge, Saint-Omer-Mille, Vanier, Lancienne-Lorette, Saint-Augustin-de-Dismores and Lac-Saint-Charles were annexed by Quebec City. This was one of several municipal mergers which took place across Quebec on that date. Following a demerger referendum, Lancienne-Lorette and Saint-Augustin-de-Dismores were reconstituted as separate municipalities on January 1, 2006, but the other former municipalities remain part of Quebec City. On November 1, 2009, the Quebec City reorganized its boroughs, reducing the number from 8 to 6. As of 2011, Quebec City has 35 districts and 6 boroughs. All districts are numbered, and most are named. In most cases the name of the district is similar to a historical town or village it replaced, but not always. Districts each elect their own council, which are part of public consultations with the city government. The numbering system was based on the 2002 to 2009 borough boundaries, so post-2009 the numbers do not correspond completely with the boroughs. Demographics. According to the 2011 census, there were 516,622 people residing in Quebec City proper, and 765,706 people in the city's census metropolitan area. Of the former total, 48.2% were male and 51.8% were female. Children under 5 accounted for approximately 4.7% of the resident population of Quebec City. This compares with 5.2% in the province of Quebec, and 5.6% for Canada overall. The vast majority of city residents are native French speakers. The English-speaking community peaked in relative terms during the 1860s, when 40% of Quebec City's residents were Anglophone. Today, Anglophones make up only 1.5% of the population of both the city and its metropolitan area. However, the annual Quebec Winter Carnival attracts both Francophone and Anglophone tourists alike, so the Anglophone population increases considerably during the duration of the event. According to the Statistics Canada website, 94.55% of Quebec City's population speaks French as their mother tongue. In addition, more than a third of city residents can speak both French and English. In 2001, 13.0% of the resident population in Quebec City was of retirement age compared with 13.2% in Canada. The average age is 39.5 years of age compared to 37.6 years of age for Canada as a whole. In the 5 years between 2006 and 2011, the population of Quebec City grew by 6.5%, compared with an increase of 4.9% for the province of Quebec. The population density of Quebec City averaged 228.6 people per square kilometre, compared with an average of 5.3 for the province as a whole. At the time of the 2001 census, the population of the Quebec City Authority was 682,757, but was 710,700 when encompassing the Greater Quebec City area, compared with a resident population in the province of Quebec of 7,237,479 people. In 2006, visible minorities made up 3% of the population. According to the 2001 census, over 90% of the population was Roman Catholic. The city also contains small Protestant, Muslim and Jewish communities. Economy. Most jobs in Quebec City are concentrated in public administration, defense, services, commerce, transport and tourism. As the provincial capital, the city benefits from being a regional administrative and services centre. Apropos, the provincial government is the largest employer in the city, employing 27,900 people as of 2007. CHUQ is the city's largest institutional employer, with more than 10,000 employees in 2007. In 2008, the unemployment rate in Quebec City was 4.5%, well below provincial and national averages. Around 10% of jobs are in manufacturing. Principal products include pulp and paper, processed food, metalwood items, chemicals, electronics and electrical equipment, and printed materials. The city hosts the headquarters of a variety of prominent companies, including engineering firms BP and Roche, investment fund Cominar, Industrial Alliance, La Capitale, Promutual, SSQ, and Union Canadienne in the insurance sector. Beenox, Frima Studio, Sarbacane and Ubisoft in the computer games industry. Oritana Zentares and Diagnocure in pharmaceuticals. Amalgame, Cosset and Vision 7 in marketing and advertising. Institut National d'Optique, EXFO, Opto-Security and Technology, not forgetting the Desjardins Group, the area's largest employer in the financial sector. The security and defense industries are quite prominent, and have given birth to an industrial pole, Technopole Defense and Security. Architecture. Much of the city's most notable architecture is located east of the fortification walls in Vieux-Québec and Place Royale. This area has a distinct European feel with its stone buildings and winding streets lined with shops and restaurants. Porty Street Louis and Porty Street Jean are the main gates through the walls from the modern section of downtown. The Kent Gate was a gift to the province from Queen Victoria, and the foundation stone was laid by the Queen's daughter, Princess Louise, Marchioness of Lorne, on June 11, 1879. West of the walls are the Parliament Hill District and the Plains of Abraham. The upper town is linked by the Escalier à Cascaouet, and the Old Quebec funicular to the lower town, which includes such sites as the ancient Notre Dame des Victoires Church, the historic Petit Champlain district, the port, and the Musée Copyright de la Civilisation. The lower town is filled with original architecture and street designs, dating back to the city's beginnings. Murals and statues are also featured. The lower town is also noted for its wide variety of boutiques, many featuring handcrafted goods. Quebec City's downtown is on the lower part of the town. Its epicenter is adjacent to the Old Town, spanning from the Saint-Roch district, throughout the Saint-Sauveur, Saint-Sacrament and Limoilou quarters. Some interpretations consider Quebec's downtown to be the central southern portion of the town, ranging from the Old City and Saint-Roch, all the way west to the Quebec City Bridge. Quebec City's skyline is dominated by the massive Car Cento Frontenac Hotel, perched on top of Cap-Diamant. It was designed by architect Bruce Price, as one of a series of Car Cento-style hotels built for the Canadian Pacific Railway Company. The railway company sought to encourage luxury tourism and bring wealthy travelers to its trains. The hotel is beside the Terrace Dufferin, a walkway along the edge of the cliff, offering beautiful views of the St. Lawrence River. The Terrace Dufferin leads toward the nearby Plains of Abraham, site of the battle in which the British took Quebec from France, and the Citadel of Quebec, a Canadian Forces installation and the federal vice-regal secondary residence. The Parliament Building, the meeting place of the Parliament of Quebec, is also near the Citadel. Near the Car Cento Frontenac is Notre Dame de Québec Cathedral, Mother Church of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Quebec. It is the first church in the New World to be raised to a basilica and is the primatial church of Canada. There are 37 National Historic Sites of Canada in Quebec City and its enclaves. Culture. Quebec City is known for its Winter Carnival, its Summer Music Festival and for its Saint Jean-Baptiste Day celebrations. Tourist attractions located near Quebec City include Montmorency Falls, the Basilica of St. Anne de Bipre Copyright, the Mont Saint Anne Ski Resort, and the Ice Hotel. Jardin Zoologique du Québec Copyright Bec, reopened in 2002 after 2 years of restorations but closed in 2006 after a political decision. It featured 750 specimens of 300 different species of animals. The zoo specialized in winged fauna and garden themes, but also presented several species of mammals. While it emphasized the indigenous fauna of Quebec, one of its principal attractions was the Indo-Australian greenhouse, featuring fauna and flora from these areas. Parc Aquarium du Québec Copyright Bec, reopened in 2002 on a site overlooking the St. Lawrence River, presents more than 10,000 specimens of mammals, reptiles, fish and other aquatic fauna of North America and the Arctic. Polar bears and various species of seals of the Arctic sector and the large ocean, a large basin offering visitors a view from underneath, form part of the principal attractions. There are a number of historic sites, art galleries and museums in Quebec City, such as Citadel of Quebec, Musée Copyright et National des Beaux-Arts du Québec, Ursulines of Quebec, and Musée Copyright et de la Civilisation. Sports, as well as having a number of local sports teams, Quebec City has hosted a number of sporting events. The Special Olympics Canada National Winter Games was held in the city from February 26 to March 1, 2008. Quebec City co-hosted with Halifax, Nova Scotia, the 2008 IIHF World Championship. Regular sporting events held in the city include the kɨɓɛk National, a women's tennis association tournament, crashed ice, an extreme downhill skating race, Quebec City International Pee-wee Tournament, a minor hockey tournament, and the Tour de Québec International Cycling Stage Race. In December 2011, Quebec City hosted the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final at the Pavillon de la Jeunesse at Expo CITA Copyright. The city has a professional baseball team, the Capitals de Québec, which plays in the Canadian-American Association of Professional Baseball. The team was established in 1999, and originally played in the Northern League. The team has 6 league titles, won in 2006, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012 and 2013. The team's stadium is the Stade Municipal. Other teams include the local football team, the Rouge and Or of the Université Copyright level. The junior hockey team, Quebec Ramparts of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. The Canadian football teams, Quebec City Monarchs and Quebec City Rebels of La Ligue de Football de Québec. The women's hockey team Quebec Phoenix of the Canadian Women's Hockey League. And soccer club Quebec Arsenal of the W League. The city had a hockey team, the Quebec Nordiques, which played in the World Hockey Association from 1972 to 1979 and then in the National Hockey League from 1979 to 1995, maintaining a strong rivalry with the Montreal Canadiens. Due to a disadvantageous exchange rate with respect to the US dollar, the team moved to Denver, Colorado in 1995, becoming the Colorado Avalanche. The Quebec Ramparts are a major junior team in the QMJHL and play in the Kaliza Copyright et Pepsi. A professional basketball team, the Quebec KEBS played in National Basketball League of Canada in 2011 but folded prior to the start of the 2012 season. The new Quebec City Amphitheatre is being built with the hope of getting an NHL franchise in Quebec City. The project is being funded regardless of whether an NHL team arrives in Quebec City. It is also hoped that the arena can help Quebec City win a future Winter Olympics Games bid. It will replace Kaliza Copyright et Pepsi as the main arena in Quebec City. Government. The current mayor of Quebec City is Ra Copyright Ghislain Baume. He was first elected in a special election on December 2, 2007, following the death in office of Andrew Copyright et Boucher, and was subsequently re-elected in the municipal elections of 2009 and 2013. Jacques Jolicoeur of the Renouveau Municipal de Québec party served as interim mayor between Boucher's death and the by-election. Quebec City is the seat of the judicial district of Québec, one of the province's 36 judicial districts. Education. Université Copyright Laval is located in the western end of the city, in the borough of Sainte-Foy. However, the School of Architecture of Université Copyright Laval is located in Old Quebec. The main campus of the Université Copyright du Québec system is also located in Quebec City, including its specialized schools École Nationale d'Administration Publique, Institut National de la Recherche Scientifique, Antar Copyright La Copyright Université Copyright, the distance learning component of the Université Copyright du Québec network. Numerous CEGEPs are located in Quebec City, including Collège Ifrana Section Wa Xavier Garnier, Car Copyright Jep O'Sullivan, Car Copyright Jep Limoilou, Car Copyright Jep de Sainte-Foy and Champlain College St. Lawrence, as well as private institutions such as Collège Notre Dame de Foy, Collège Mar Copyright Ricey, Collège Bart, Collège CDI and Collège Molshire. Quebec City is the oldest educational institution for women in North America, the Ursulines of Quebec Monastery, located at 12 Rue Donnacona. Infrastructure, transportation. Roads, 2 bridges and a ferry service connect the city with La Copyright-Vis and its suburbs along the south shore of the St. Lawrence River. The Orleans Island Bridge links Quebec City with pastoral Orleans Island. Quebec City is an important hub in the province's autoroute system. Autoroute 40 connects the region with Montreal and Ottawa to the west and Saint-Anne-de-Beaupré Copyright and the Charlevoix region to the east. Autoroute 20 parallels the south shore of the St. Lawrence River, linking Quebec City with Montreal and Toronto to the west and Rivière-du-Loup, Rimouski, and the Maritime provinces to the east. Autoroute 73 provides a north-south link through the metropolitan area, linking it with St. George's, the Beauce region, and Maine to the south and Saguenay and the Lac-Saint-Jean region to the north. Within the metropolitan region, autoroutes 40, 73, and several spur routes link the city centre with its suburbs. Autoroute 573 connects the city with CFB Valcartier. Autoroute 740 serves as a north-south inner belt. Autoroute 440 comprises 2 separate autoroutes to the west and east of the urban core. Originally meant to be connected by a tunnel under the city centre, the 2 sections are separated by a 6-kilometre gap. There are no current plans to connect them. The western section connects autoroutes 40 and 73 with Boulevard Charest, while the eastern section links the city centre with Beauport and Montmorency Falls. Public transport. The RA Copyright Soda Transport de la Capitale is responsible for public transport in the region. The RTC operates a fleet of buses and has recently implemented articulated buses. The RTC is studying the return of a tram system to help ease overcrowding on its busiest lines as well as attract new users to public transit. The $900 million revitalization project needs approval from higher levels of government since the city does not have the financial resources to fund such an ambitious project on its own. Rail transport is operated by Via Rail at the Gare du Palais. The station is the eastern terminus of the railway's main Quebec City-Windsor corridor. An intercity bus station, with connections to the provincial long-distance bus network, is adjacent to the train station, and hosts, amongst others, the services of Greyhound Canada and Orleans Express. Air and Sea. Quebec City is served by Jean-Lesage International Airport, located at the city's western edge. The city also has a major port on the St. Lawrence in the 1st, 5th and 6th boroughs. Public safety. Quebec City is protected by Service de Police de la Ville de Québec Copyright Bec and Service de Protection contre les Incendies de Québec Copyright Bec. Quebec City has one of the lowest crime rates in Canada. The city reported no murders in 2007, a streak that stretched back to October 31, 2006. Notable people. Partner cities. Quebec City is twinned with, see also, List of regional county municipalities and equivalent territories in Quebec, references. Notes. External links. Official website of Quebec Copyright Bec City Tourism, Multimedia, CBC Television Archives on Preserving Quebec City, CBC Digital Archives, Quebec City, 400 Years of History.